Hi Cancer, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of August. It's really wild to say that I'm doing a report for August because the summer is flying, and we are in eclipse season that began the middle of May really through the end of June, and then Mercury was in Gemini for over 2 months, bringing us a lot of information and a lot of tales. It finally entered your sign on July 11th and slowed things down a little bit. But the big news as we begin the month of August is that Jupiter, which is the grand benefic, changed signs and re-entered the fixed air sign of Aquarius on July 28th, where it will be until December 29th of this year. And for you, Jupiter is transiting in your 8th house of joint resources and taxes and debt and loans, as well as assets and investments. It also entails a lot of inner healing work, dealing with loss and dealing with facing pain and wounds in order to heal. And Saturn, which is the architect of the zodiac, entered Aquarius on December 17th of 2020, and it's going to be in this sector of your chart until March 7th of 2023. So now you've got the optimism and levity of Jupiter. Saturn is insisting that you really take a realistic look at your money, at your debt, and also if there are issues in your life emotionally that maybe you haven't dealt with. We all sometimes cast them aside. The more work you do with Saturn, the more you'll benefit. Jupiter helps to bring financial opportunities. It opens doors financially. Also helps if you're doing that healing work to really face the wounds with more optimism. So that's a big deal. It changed signs, and now as we begin the month of August, the Sun and Mercury are both transiting in the fixed fire sign of Leo in your house of income and money and what you value, and Venus and Mars are both transiting in the mutable earth sign of Virgo in your house of thoughts and ideas, local community, and communication. So a lot of focus on your investments and your money in general, but also energy and focus on socializing, communicating, and networking. On August 11th, the Sun and Mercury both meet up at 10:08 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 10 degrees of the fixed fire sign of Leo. And that's a very creative signature, and that for you falls in your house of money and how you earn income. And that could give creative ideas. But later in the day, there are more reality checks and or blocks because Mercury opposes Saturn at 5:50 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That could bring obstacles or delays in financial partnerships, maybe arguments potentially. And then at 11:14 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time and at 2:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on August 3rd, the Sun opposes Saturn in your money houses. So getting realistic on how you can be productive. On August 2nd, Juno, which is an asteroid that represents partnering, stations direct at 8 degrees of the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. And this occurs in your, this occurs in your house of work and daily routine. And it emphasizes the expansiveness that you can achieve through partnering with others in your work and in your habits. And then on, later at 11:53 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on August 2nd, and on August 3rd at 2:53 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Venus forms a magical trine to Uranus. And for you, this could be really good for meeting people. If you're single, it's great for networking. It's great for unexpected financial opportunities. Uranus is transiting in your house of friends and groups. So this would be a great time for networking and connecting with other people, and it's a very creative aspect. And then on the 3rd, Mercury squares Uranus at 9:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And for you, that could bring unexpected issues with finances. Hopefully it brings unexpected opportunities, but with Uranus, expect the unexpected, and realistically it probably brings some unexpected news. On the 6th of August, Chiron, the wounded healer, forms a trine to the Sun at 6:41 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that's helpful energy for dealing with healing work. And for you, Chiron is transiting in your 12th house, so that will be helpful energy. And then on the, let's see here, on the 8th of August, there is a new moon that takes place at 9:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 16 degrees and 14 minutes of the fixed fire sign of Leo. That's a very fun new moon. The sun loves being in Leo. It's in its dignity. This new moon brings new beginnings in your house of income and how you earn money and what you value, how you can be creative. The sun is in its dignity. The moon rules your chart, so you work very well with the new moon. Do the law of abundance for money, certainly, but anything you want to magnetize in your life, set intentions. And the new moon itself is conjunct Mercury, so it entails a lot of communication. And that's a really nice energy. On the 9th of August, Venus opposes Neptune at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that can bring disagreements. Perhaps there are delays with travel. It can uncover deception. It's not radical for you in the houses it's in, but it's an energy where you know there can be miscommunication, potentially. On the 10th of August, the Sun opposes Jupiter at 9:20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could bring financial opportunities. Even though it's an opposition, I feel that's good energy. And then on the 11th of August, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, enters the mutable Earth sign of Virgo at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it will be there until August 29th in your 3rd house of communication and writing and thinking, and this is excellent. So for you, you can get a lot done if you're thinking of writing something, a proposal, if you're marketing yourself, if you're networking, or if you're taking local trips. Excellent energy. On the 15th of August, Venus enters the cardinal air sign of Libra at 9:27 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 16th at 12:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it will be there until September 10th, and it's transiting in your house of home and family and emotional foundation. This is the 4th house in astrology. You are the 4th sign, and this is your house. So with Venus in its dignity, because it loves being in Libra, it's very much about partnering and beauty and getting along with other people. For you, you're a sign that is so focused on home and family and feeling happy at home. Whether or not you have your own business, this could be excellent for business opportunity, particularly if you do have your own business. It's great for new financial opportunities at home, but great for fixing up your environment and feeling good at home. So that's a really nice energy. On August 18th, Mars and Mercury meet up at 9:28 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that could be contentious energy that's in your house of communication. It could be good for getting work done and really being focused. On the 19th of August, the Sun opposes Jupiter at 8:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that is, I think, a positive energy. It could just be a little bit excessive. The big deal is that Uranus stations retrograde at 14 degrees of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we feel that 5 days before and 5 days after. Uranus is in your house of friends and groups. Maybe there's a bit of chaos within your community, or friends might be going through a lot with this energy. We all might be feeling a little more anxious or busy, or just unexpected events and situations. Uranus can bring very rapid change. On the 20th of August, Mercury forms a magical trine to Uranus at 4:06 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that can be very inventive thinking and great for you for networking with friends and brainstorming, and it's very inventive, and it's also good for meeting people. On August 21st, let's see here, Mars forms a trine to Uranus at 11:38 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and on August 22nd at 2:38 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that could be excellent for you for getting things accomplished. It's a very inventive energy. When Uranus makes good aspects, it's incredibly innovative and inventive. So that's a good aspect. And then on August 22nd, there will be a full moon at 8:02 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 29 degrees and 37 minutes of the fixed air sign of Aquarius. This defaults back to where Jupiter was on July 28th, when Jupiter re-entered Aquarius. And in this full moon chart, it occurs, the full moon itself falls in your house of healing and money and joint resources. It's only within a degree of Jupiter. So that's very lucky. Even if it brings a and expands that, Aquarius is not particularly an emotional sign, and you have Jupiter, the luckiest planet, conjunct the full moon. So that's actually quite nice. On August 23rd, let's see here, Venus trines Saturn at 8:48 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that's good, good energy for partnering with others and good for financial commitments, etc. On August 24th, Venus opposes Neptune Mercury opposes Neptune at 9:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and that might uncover some deception for you. And again, any Neptune influence can be good for doing manifesting work. On August 26th, Venus opposes Chiron, the wounded healer, at 9:24 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that can bring energy around home and family. Chiron is transiting, in Aries, which is about vulnerability around ego, but it's a good signature and it is helpful. So focusing on that. And Chiron's transiting at the top of your chart in your house of career, whether it's vulnerability around your public image, around family. And then later at 10:23 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, forms a beautiful trine to Pluto in Capricorn. And that can bring excellent partnering opportunities for you in business and with family, and it up-levels the communication. And then on August 30th, Mercury enters the cardinal air sign of Libra at 1:10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and it will be in Libra for quite some time because it retrogrades on September 27th at 25 degrees of Libra. And Mercury will be transiting in your house of home and family. So at the end of the month, there's a lot of focus on your home, on getting your needs met. Venus is transiting there already. It's going to be there until the 10th of September. So really getting your foundation, getting centered and grounded. I wish you a lot of luck, Cancer, and thank you very much.